Hey guys, I am so sorry. I have not uploaded videos. Um, the so the it's the internet, the not my internet, but the Wi-Fi and the service at the campus in Springfield sucks. So like any decent video was in like would not upload at all. When I say decent, I mean like a normal 10-minute, 12-minute video. The size of it would not upload. So I did upload a video when I had first got there, but let me just kind of go through everything from back from the beginning, um, just so that anyone going through like the 2023 training has an idea of what to expect. Because what I planned on doing was going through day one, day two, day three, but I could not upload videos. It would not connect. Even the Wi-Fi at the terminal wasn't that good. The Plaza building wasn't that good. And I even tried my hotspot, and it still was like having just issues uploading. So I'm back home now. I just got back. It's 4:21 in the afternoon Central Time. I got back at 2 o'clock, roughly 2:30. And if I look tired, like I haven't slept in days, you're absolutely right. I'm exhausted. But I know if I go to sleep, I'll be up all night. So let me just kind of go through how it was. So the first thing is your travel arrangements. So when you're talking to your recruiter, if you want to take like a rental car or a plane, you make sure that you get something in writing, like email or whatever, from your recruiter saying about reimbursement, that kind of thing. The reason I say that is Greyhound buses, what they buy you, the tickets for Greyhound are absolutely atrocious. Do not do everything in your power not to take a Greyhound bus. I was talking to people that had been on the bus for 2-3 days just to get to Springfield. Someone as far south, I think it was South Carolina or something, which I have no clue why they sent them to Springfield. I think Pittston probably would have been closer. But I didn't look it up, obviously, but I feel like it would have been closer. I was on the bus for 14 hours. The bus terminals were disgusting. The nicest one that I'd been to was the one in Springfield, and there was hardly anybody there. Um, and it looked like it was brand new, but the rest of them were absolute just bad. They were dirty. There was homeless people sleeping on the ground. The first terminal I had gone to in Dallas was I mean, jam packed. It was almost shoulder to shoulder in the entire terminal. I mean, there was nowhere to sit. Every chair was taken. People were sleeping in them. The security guards, the staff, they were completely rude. I mean, I don't know how they were able to get away with talking to the people the way they were talking to them. So your travel arrangements, talk to your recruiter and find out what what reimbursement options you have. Because you absolutely do not want to ride a Greyhound bus. So let's say you have to ride the Greyhound, you get there. So once you get there, what they don't tell you, if you look on the links they send you, once you get to the terminal, they say you have to call an Uber or a Lyft to get you to the terminal. That's not true. Or not the terminal, the campus in. That's not true. You call the shuttle. My recruiter was like, yeah, call the shuttle and let them know, and blah, 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 blah. There's 2 or 3 different, there's actually 4 or 5 different colors or whatever they use. And a couple of them go to the Greyhound bus station, and I didn't know which one it was, so I just selected one of them that said they go to the Greyhound bus station. And she was like, oh, no, you want this color shuttle. And I'm like, well, the automated thing said it was you, but, how am I supposed to know that? So anyways, they radioed the person, and he ended up showing up and picking me up, me and one other guy who was, I think, already a driver. So that was getting there, after riding Greyhound all day, and getting to the campus in, getting checked in. When you get there, they're going to give you a green sheet that you fill out. It's got like information, and then like a packet of paper, which is your work history, your motor vehicle report stuff. So like if you've been in accidents, wrecks, if you've got any tickets, anything like that. That information needs to be the same as the one you put on the internet app. So you went to Drive for Prime and you filled out, all the stuff when you first submitted it. That information that you put, assuming it's correct, needs to be the same information that you put on that packet. If you do not make sure that that's matching, or if it's correct information, they are going to send your ass home. And that happened to 2 or 3 people where their work history was not matching up. One guy had something to do with his clearinghouse, but basically, if it doesn't match up, they're not going to sit here and sift through, trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. They're just going to send you home. They got, well, in my class, they had 20 some odd people to get through. And a typical class is usually 80 some odd people. So, if classes get bigger, they're not going to wait for one person. They got 79 other people that probably work history is fine. I know I talked to one guy. He started the Monday after, the Monday after me, and he said half his class got sent home. So if your work history doesn't match what you put on there on your internet app when you first submitted it, they're gonna send you home. So make sure that is correct when they give you that packet at the check-in desk. Once you get checked in, you may or may not have a roommate, and that's basically when you get there, Saturday, Sunday, depending on travel arrangements. So day one of orientation. Now, I don't know why they call it orientation, to be honest with you. It's not, even like this little paper here, it's a paper badge they give you, and let me just blog out my last name. But if you look on here, it says New Prime Associate Orientation and Training. Well, it doesn't make any sense because New Prime Associate, you're not hired. And a lot of people don't know that you're not hired just because you went to the you're at orientation. You're not hired, and you're not training. You're not doing any kind of training. Your orientation is literally computer based training. They give you a login link, and they have all these computers in different rooms, and you basically sit there and do these computer based trainings. Now, if your work history doesn't match up and you get sent home, you probably could have done all those computer based trainings, and it wouldn't have mattered. Because you didn't get cleared, they're going to just send you home. So it doesn't matter. So I don't understand why they can't orient. You're not orientating anything. You're basically, your number one job for orientation is to get cleared. That's your number one job. Get that first green badge. The green badge basically says that you're in training, that you're a PSD student. Going to the pad and all that stuff and learning how to do, your backup maneuvers and all that, learning how to pass your CDL. Even if you have a CDL already and you show up there, like I did, you're going to get the same badge. It'll still show green and all that stuff. So it's not different. Your training is different, though, but we'll get into that in a minute. But your orientation is literally just computer-based training and your simulator assessment, which is not really a simulator assessment. He was telling us they spend like $150,000 on the simulators. I think I got on twice. I got on 2 times. The first time we did the same thing twice, and that was the end of the class. And then the next time we came back in, we did some more of them, and then we did our assessment. And honestly, if you can just stay on the road, you're basically going to pass. It's really not that hard. It's, for people who have never driven, ever driven a big truck that are trying to get their CDLs, a lot of them pass. So if you can do that, you'll be fine. And that's on the first sim training is on day 1, the first day that you're there, because they split you up into groups A, B, C, and D. How they do it, I don't know. They just kind of match you. Like you got 20 people, 5 in this group, 5 in this group, whatever. And so your times vary depending on what group you're in, which is they give you a schedule. I have all the paperwork, but I'm not going to dig through all the crap that they give you. I've got a stack of stuff like this. That's just the paperwork, not including the FMCSA manual and all the other crap they give you. That you really, honestly, you use it once and you never see it again. The most thing you're going to use is your badge and some of the schedules they give you. That's it. So that's day 1. Your CBTs and getting your orientation paperwork out of the way with the orientation office. And making sure that everything's matched up before they send it off to HR. Then you do your sim training depending on the time. I think it's from 1, you got 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I think 6 o'clock, and like 9 o'clock or something. So it's spread out, and it's like 2 hours or 2.5 hours that you're in that sim class. On day two, some people have started to clear. She'll kind of call out who's started their CBTs and who's got a ways to go and that kind of thing. She'll start to announce like, yeah, I got 6 or 7 people here that I've already cleared, and but you can't have your badge till Wednesday. And then basically that's it. They want you there at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. They'll go through that, which is maybe 30 minutes, and then the rest of that day is basically spent waiting to see if you get cleared and doing the rest of your computer-based training. And then you have another sim class later on that day, depending on what group you're in. That's your whole day. That's your whole day too. There's nothing complicated about it. And they call it orientation, which doesn't make sense to me. For Wednesday, on day 3, that's when a majority of people get cleared. If you haven't finished your CBTs, which you have to do by Wednesday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday by midnight. If you haven't finished them, I honestly don't know what happens. I'm assuming you're done. I don't know. I don't know anybody that didn't finish them. Wednesday, a majority of you will get cleared. If you do get cleared, you get your badge and you head to the Plaza building, which is where the training pad is at. That's when you start doing a lot of your training, like you're meeting your trainer and getting on the truck and the training trucks. I say training trucks. They call them pad trucks. They're basically just trucks with a shitload of miles on them, and they just use those to be doing pre-trips and all that stuff. And then doing your backing maneuvers and going around the block basically for your drive test. But other than that, that's your Wednesday. Assuming let's say you don't get cleared, like me, I didn't get cleared that Wednesday. I didn't get cleared till Thursday about 10 o'clock, which is technically late. It's like that's later than most people. So if you don't get cleared by that date, then you basically wait. There's another guy they kind of pass you off to because the instructor lady, Miss V, I guess she starts her weekend. She's off at like 10 in the morning and doesn't come back again until like Monday. And so there's like another guy they give you, like, oh, well, if you do clear, you'll talk to this guy. Well, luckily I cleared before she left. When you clear, they just take a picture, they make a badge, they give you a vest, and they basically say, okay, get on the shuttle and go to the Plaza building. And so that's kind of like your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The rest of your time is basically spent at the training pad, learning your pre-trip, learning your backing maneuvers, and getting in your little groups with your trainer and all that crap. That's basically the rest of your time for PSD. The next time it's going to change for you, with the exception of doing like logs classes and tires classes and all that stuff, the next time it's going to change for you is when you pass when you pass PSD and they give you the purple badge, which is that's when you're actually an employee of Prime. It is not when you get cleared. And they don't tell people that. You don't get hired. You're not technically hired until you get that purple badge. Now, for example, in my case, I started that Monday like everybody else. I cleared on that Thursday. I did because I already had a Class A CDL when I showed up. Basically, I rode with a guy for a couple days doing this and that. And then Sunday, he did my evaluation. And that's when I got my purple badge. And that's my official hire date, where I'm officially a Prime employee. So a lot of you guys you're not considered employees until you pass that test. Until once you pass your CDL test, that's when they give you the purple badge, and that's when you're hired by Prime. And then that's when you start the $900 a week training or whatever, for TNT that you can email. They give you an email to get matched up with your TNT trainer. And they do some other computer thing where you slide some stuff around. That's supposed to help. That's supposed to help you like match up with somebody. I don't know. It was honestly, it was nonsense to me. It didn't make any sense. Like, cause it was like, put these in order from most important to least important. And it's basically the same shit. You do it over and over again, like 4 or 5 times. And it just kind of narrows it down from the top 20 to top 15 to 11, top 6 or something. So it's kind of crazy. As far as being at the campus the rooms are okay. You could think of it as like a really basic motel. The mattresses really aren't that comfortable. I don't call them maintenance ladies, the maids or whatever, the ladies that come in and clean up the room and make up your bed, they're super, super nice. Super, super nice ladies. Love them to death. And they're always willing to help you with things like if you need an extra towel or whatever. But the food they have it's called the Campus Cafe, and the food is I think another guy he said it's jailhouse food. You can think of it like jailhouse food. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst, because they do have like fresh salads and their desserts are really good. They're made fresh, but some of the stuff they cook is kind of, you can tell it's like out of a box kind of thing. It's not like cooked fresh or anything like that. A lot of it's frozen. It's real cheap stuff. They give you, matter of fact, I think I have my my meal card. So they give you a meal card, and let me kind of block out this. So here's what it looks like. I'm trying to move my fingers out of the way. So it's a meal card, and then they have like somebody messed up right here, but they have like different dates, and if you look here, you have a B, and then this one would be L and D. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think when you first get it, I think you can get dinner. But they give you these at the hotel, and they have expiration dates. It takes them a couple days, and then they'll give you another one to get over the weekend. But basically, this is what they look like. And you have an allowance. And for, let me see here if it's on here. So breakfast is $5.75, and then lunch and dinner is $7.25. So they have like already pre-made dinners, like where you can get the big dinner or the big breakfast or whatever they call it, and that'll cover you, like you don't have to pay for anything because it's basically an allowance. So as long as you stay under or at that allowance, you don't have to pay anything. Now let's say you get a breakfast item and you get $5.75, but then you want a couple extra pieces of bacon and an extra $1, so it comes out to $6.75. So the $5.75 would be covered. You got to pay for what's extra, so you would pay that extra $1. They would say, okay, well it's $5.75, but you got extra bacon, so it's $1, so you owe $1, and so you pay the $1. Now they do not have. You cannot use a debit card. You can't use a debit card at the campus cafe. You can't use a debit card. You basically cannot use your debit card anywhere. Anything having to do with Prime, you either have to use that Com Data card, which is your badge, that green badge or purple badge they give you, or you have to have cash. It's extremely rare to have a where you can use your debit card. The only place that I found that anywhere having to do with Prime that I could use my debit card was it was in the employee break room at the campus cafe or the campus inn. And it was a drink vending machine, and it took debit card, and that's how I was getting like a Monster or whatever. Or you can go across the street to the gas station or whatever. But if it's anything to do with Prime, they don't take debit card at all. So you either have to bring cash or use that Com Data card when you get cleared. That $200 they load on there, then you can go to an ATM, which they charge fees. So it's like $3 or $3.50 or whatever it is. And then they put $200 in there, and you got to use that. So you got to pull cash off in order to buy things, or you just use the card. Tell them, yeah, it's here. I swap my Com Data card. It's a pain in the butt, but it's just one of those things where you just got to plan ahead, and they don't tell you that. The recruiters don't say, oh, make sure you bring some cash because they don't take debit card. They don't even know. I don't even think the recruiters have gone over there to even know this stuff, so that they don't tell anybody this. So when you get there, you're kind of surprised, like, oh, well, I have $1,000 on my account and I can't even use it. I have to go use this ATM to pull cash off, but it's going to charge me fees. And, and then a lot of the people that are coming there are real young. There might be 18, or they might be 21, 22, they're kind of young. And so maybe they came there they didn't have a lot of money or whatever the case is. So, they may not have that. So they're depending on getting cleared and then using the meal tickets they give you, which they'll give you one for the first week, and then to get through that weekend, and that's it. By that time, you better have cleared, because if you don't, you're shit out of luck, I guess, because you're not going to have anything to eat, or you're being sent home. Those are your two options. To get places, there's a Walmart nearby, so you really close. I mean, you could walk to it. It's not far at all. It's like, I mean, if you stood out in front of the campus inn, you'll see the Walmart. There's a Sefco across the street, a Route 66 gas station like right next door, Oasis, which is another hotel I think Prime owns with Fire and Ice Grill. That's next door. They own that. You can go there, I guess, if you wanted food. There's a couple of restaurants around like Wings, etc., Ruby Tuesdays. There's a couple other places that are Steak and Shake. They're right nearby. You can do that for food if you want. You can have things like that, was it DoorDash, and they'll bring it to the lobby. But then you got to walk all the way to the lobby. And if you're like me, my room is all the way in the back, the very last back building. And so anytime I need to go up there, I had to go from that building all the way to the front and then all the way back. And things like the keys, like the door keys, they only last for 3 days. So you don't know when they're going to go out. You just know it might, and they say 3 days, but I had mine work for 4 or 5 days, before it went out. And how I found out? I got dropped off at the shuttle, went all the way to my room with all this crap that I was carrying. I went to use my key, and it showed a red light. So then I had to walk back with all that stuff, go back to the lobby again, say, hey, my key doesn't work. He's, oh, okay, and give you a new one. And within 5 seconds, they got a new key for you. Then you walk all the way back again to get into your damn room. So that right there is the most frustrating thing in the world. They really got to figure that out. They need to make it where it's, make it from Sunday to Sunday, make sure you come in here on Sunday because that's when it's going to run out. Not, maybe it's kind of 3 to 4 days. It depends. They don't even know. They tell you 3 days, but it's not 3 days. I had last time I got my key done was I think Saturday night, and I left early this morning. My key was still working, and it was past 3 days. So I don't understand how. I don't even think they know how the system works. And they tell you that if the key gets too close to a electronic device, it'll deactivate. Never heard of any of this crap. Because it's literally the same stuff you go to any other hotel where you slide the key down and it unlocks the door. I've never heard of it deactivating because it got too close to an electronic device. And if that's the case, it's basically near my phone almost all the whole time. So I seriously doubt that's what's going on. Other than that, that's basically the week in a nutshell. Because like I said, once you get cleared, you do everything else at the training pad. Once you get cleared and you go to the Plaza building, which is what they call the training pad, Plaza building, your whole job is to get your CDL. Once you pass that, they give you the purple badge. You're officially a hired prime employee, and then that's it. You go on to TNT. They send you give you a little piece of paper to email whatever division you're in, and then they hook you up with somebody. They try to get someone near where you live. In my case, my guy's from Phoenix, and I live in Central Texas. So I don't know how home time is going to work out, but as of right now, I just got home today, so I'm going to spend the week or the rest of the week with my family and just kind of hang out. And other than that, I don't think there's anything else to say. The terminal building is kind of cool. You can't go into the Millennium building, terminal building. You can't go in there unless you have the green badge. You have to be able to swipe in and out to get in. It's kind of cool. The food's way better there. The North Star Grill is what they call it. Food's way better. They have the Prime store, and they have hats, beanies, gloves, locks, pens. I mean, you name it. Shoes. I bought a new pair of shoes because mine kept squeaking. It was the most frustrating thing. But I bought a pair of New Balance shoes that got slides for when I go on the road with my trainer and I got to go take a shower. And it's in big bold letters. It says, "Do not walk in those showers without shower shoes." So you can either go to Walmart and get them, or you can just go into the Prime store. They're $20, and they're Under Armour slides. They're pretty nice and they're really comfortable. They've got jackets and hoodies and shirts and you name it. They've got fridges in there and maps and just everything you could ever need. So pretty cool. Once you get your TWIC card and all that stuff, they give you like this paper, and if you turn the paper in, you get a free hat. They didn't have any more reefer hats, so I just got an extra beanie for my wife. Let's see what else is in there. Oh, they got a massage there, a chiropractor in there at the bottom in the basement. They have a doctor's office. They have the sleep study, which I did, mild apnea. I didn't need a machine. I'll see how I feel in a few months with my trainer, and when I go to come back to upgrade, if I feel like I want to get the machine, I can go and get it. And they just do it through payroll, so you don't have to pay anything outright. You can pay for it if you want to yourself, but they'll pull it through payroll, and I think it's $100 a week or something. So what else they got? Oh, they got a salon so women can get their hair. I mean, a full-blown salon. I don't mean like just some folks off the street. I mean, it's a full-blown salon where you can cut hair and do highlights and layers and shampoo and all this stuff. And you can find a lot of stuff on their website. What else? They've got pool tables, and they've got a full-blown basketball court and a movie theater. Just all kinds of stuff for you to do. A daycare. If I'm assuming for like in-house employees, or if you got small children or whatever. They've got all kinds of crap in that terminal, but you can't go in there without that badge, without that green badge when you first get cleared. So if you're getting there on a Sunday and you're getting ready to start training, and you're like, oh, let me go take the shuttle so I can go check out the terminal, not going to happen. Because as soon as you walk onto the shuttle, they're going to say, where's your badge? You don't have one, so they're going to tell you to get off the shuttle. And then even if for somehow you get past that and you go to the terminal building and you go to swipe, you don't have anything to swipe, you can't get in. So, and when you walk around, they're probably going to figure out pretty quick that you don't have a badge. They're going to know right off the bat. So you can forget about that. So your goal for orientation is to get cleared. That's what you should be shooting for. Now, as far as like videos, and I'm going to try to upload a lot more. I'm going to be beginning with my TNT trainer. I may not upload anything the rest of this week just because honestly, there's going to be nothing going on this week. I'm just waiting around for my trainer. So the next video is probably going to be when I'm already with my trainer, maybe getting to the truck or whatever the case is. And it might be a day or two after that, because I don't want to it'll be the first time that me and him are meeting. So I don't want to be like, oh, this dude's just going to do videos the whole time and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to make anybody upset or anything like that. So the video qualities will get better. I've just been using my phone. I hadn't been able to upload anything. I have my laptop that I brought is for some reason going extremely slow. So there's no way I can get on there and create like a cool intro or anything like that. I have a custom gaming computer here at my home, but I don't have access to it. So Maybe while I'm sitting here, this week maybe I'll make one that bring it with me or something. But more than likely, it's just going to be videos like this where it's impromptu kind of uploading kind of thing. Did maybe some videos of where we're at, or shippers and receivers and things like that. So if you have any questions, you can always comment down below, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. I had to help the guy that showed up this week, helped him get cleared with his work. I helped him with his work history, helped him get cleared, and answered a bunch of his questions. He wasn't sure how the whole process was going to work, and it's weird because from the time you get there and the time you're running on almost hardly any sleep, you're running on crap food, and that's why I'm so tired. The sleep study, they put just all stuff all over you, all over your head, your face, your nose, and then, okay, go to sleep. How are you gonna go to sleep like that? You can't. And then doing all the CBTs and pre-trip training, and getting up early and heading to the pad, and then being gone all day, and then barely eat hardly any food, and then you come back and you're not going to your house, and there's no food waiting for you. By the time you get back, the cafe may or may not be closed because they close at 6. If it's the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they close at 2. So you get back, unless you got food waiting for you already, or if you brought food back from the terminal, you don't have anything. And if you're at the plaza all day, you think about it. If you're at the plaza building, you got to get on the shuttle, go to the terminal, get off of the terminal, go inside, get food, go back to the shuttle, then go back to the hotel so you can have food for that night for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because the place isn't open, the cafe is not open for dinner. Or you can have to Uber something in, which is even more expensive. So it's very, very exhausting. And then the information is day by day. So they give you the schedule, but you don't quite know what's going to happen day to day. Someone goes, well, what are you going to do? Do you know what we're doing? No. What we're going to be doing tomorrow? Nope. When you get there, you just learn day by day by day what you're going to do. So it's extremely exhausting, and it's very, very confusing because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's next. You don't know what you're going to be doing. And they get to give you the schedule, but it's a very bare bones, loosey goosey schedule. They give you, for instance, they gave us a schedule for when we got cleared. And it's, there's a class at 8 o'clock and a class at this time and this time. But if you get a trainer, don't go by this schedule. Your trainer will tell you what to do. And then you talk to the trainer, oh yeah, don't go any of those classes. So now I just have this schedule that they gave me, that they told me to go by, but now I'm not going to go by it because the trainer said not to go by it. It's very, very confusing and frustrating, and I wish they would streamline it a lot better. I wish that they would clear you before you got here. That way you're not getting here at, getting all the way up to Springfield, and then they go, oh, well, you didn't get cleared, and then you get sent home on your own dime. So if you don't get cleared, or something's wrong with your paperwork, or whatever the case is, see ya, and you have to figure out how to get home. That's a very hard thing to do, especially for someone who's coming up there thinking that they were going to be able to get their CDL and start work and all this stuff. So very, very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. But if you can stick with it, and you get cleared, and you work hard, and you listen to your trainers, and basically run on no sleep and just being exhausted, once you get through it done, it gets easier. Once you get to your TNT, it's probably going to get a lot easier, because now you're actually learning your job. You're not just training for the CDL, you're learning how to do your job. So it's once you do all of that, I think it will get easier, especially once you're done with TNT and you get on your own truck. You can kind of do your own thing and put things here, and you'll be in your own space, and you can, depending on if your company or lease, you can go home whenever you need to go home, or do the things you want to do, or stop the places you want to stop, and all the stuff that you just want to do, you've been wanting to do for yourself. So if you have any questions, comments, let me know. I'll try to help as best I can. Again, sorry for the crap intro and outro, but I haven't been able to actually sit down until today, so I'll try to work on that for you guys. But other than that, if you have questions about Prime, or if you're not sure if your recruiter's telling you all the right information, I can try to help you with that. Sometimes the information you get from different recruiters is not the same. For instance, my recruiter told me there was no reimbursement for rental cars or flights, but another guy said no. When you get cleared and they give you the $200 a week, that reimbursement they're going to reimburse you is going to also be on that card. That's what he was told. It's all different information. So if I can try to help you with it, I'll try. But Prime isn't a bad company. You know, it's a great company. You guys will love it. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to get some rest. I got to go through my bags and take out all the crap that I brought for training and all the stuff that I got, and wash everything and get ready for this weekend for my trainer to come and get me. So we'll catch you guys later, and I'll try my best to upload more videos. It's just kind of tough, but I'll try my best. All right, guys, take it easy.